Welcome back to Fire to Fork. If you have heart disease, if you are vegan, if you want to be healthy, I have nothing for you in this video, unfortunately. This is going to be the most ridiculously decadent recipe I can think of for breakfast. I mean, this is obscene, absolutely obscene. It's not good for budgets, it's not good for your health. The only thing it is good for is your mouth, and that's what I'm aiming for. So, if you want a serious treat, just hang out here. All right, that is a Scotch fillet, a very, very nice Scotch fillet from Bully Butcher. And it's nice and thick and unreal, and I don't have a wire rack to dry it out on, so I just put it on a pair of tongs because it's camping. Now, that's not what we're dealing with now. What we're dealing with now is a fridge full of stuff. I know that fire is smoky, it's deliberate. What we're getting now is marrow bones. And also, you could often have to buy the whole joint. So I buy the whole joint. I'm only going to use this bit of marrow, and these bits are for a certain hound. I know you want to see me give Fred a bone, so. Fred! Come here. Sit. Come. Sit. Good boy. Paw. Other paw. Roll over. Roll over. Come, roll over. He's so excited he won't roll over. Come on, drop. Roll over. Good boy. Paw. Touch. Drop. Stay. Free. That is one excited dog. So that's all full of bone marrow in there. He will smash this for the next 2 hours, I reckon, or hour. Oh, he's just getting some chunks of bone marrow out now. I was thinking of doing a special video for my 100K, and I don't know, tell me what you think. 100K subs, finally, after years of requests, I make Fred dinner. All right, so that's the marrow we're going to use, just because it's easier to grill, because they're kind of a bit flatter. Still bits of chunks of meat on the back, that's fine. They'll just kind of burn off. Okay, I'm going to season my marrow very simply. So you've got to get this from a butcher, by the way. You can't just go and get this from the supermarket. Well, you might be able to, but I've never seen it. Salt, a bit finer actually. Pepper. All right, simple. Now, I'm going to put this over here on the grill on relatively low heat. So I've got this up nice and high, might even go higher. And I know there's a bit of smoke, and I'm trying to capture that because we want to kind of bake these. So, gonna trap the heat in with that, which is just a wok. You can use a fry pan, you can use whatever. Anything that's going to sit over the top. A camp oven would work quite well for that. And we'll get on to the next bit. Oh, actually, and I'm going to put sort of a few cloves of garlic in there as well. Put it on top of the bone marrow, actually, in the shell. We want to roast that as well. We'll probably leave that for about 20 minutes to half an hour. While we wait for that, we're going to do some chimichurri. So we'll get a bowl for it, which I think can be this. And we'll start off with some garlic. A whole head. Not a whole head, but a lot of a head of garlic. If you hear a scraping noise in the background, it's Fred with that bone having the greatest time of his life. Tell you what, if this video gets, let's say, 1,000 comments saying Fred, I will cook Fred a 3-course meal for dinner. I think chimichurri is Argentinian or something. It's South America somewhere, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Argentinian. It's basically, today most people do it in a blender, but traditionally it was done with a knife, with just a knife. So I'm going to do it the traditional way because I'm camping and I don't have a blender. That's the main reason. You know, the knife thing, sorry, the traditional thing is just a nice to have. Now the idea of using chimichurri is that it's got a lot of acid in it, and that's going to really cut through this very fatty, hearty meal and really add some zing and some interest to the flavour. Still can't believe I'm cooking this. It's just ridiculous. It's not fully chopped yet, but that's okay. I'm going to just start adding in the other stuff and chop it all together. So a bit of parsley. I just do this all by eye. A chilli. Got to be a red chilli. Not for flavour, for looks. And the problem is that you've got to play bloody supermarket chili roulette, which is, you know, who knows how hot this is going to be. Some days you get them and they're absolutely killer, and some days they're nothing. Oh! Oh. Answers my question. Oh, yeah, it's hot, but the acid and stuff will really dull that heat. It's like when you have a fresh jalapeno versus a pickled jalapeno. Pickled jalapenos are never as hot. Okay, chuck that in there, and now we just chop it all together. If you're wondering what this rubber thing is, it's actually a drying mat from Avanti, which you can get basically anywhere. And I use it because it keeps my breadboard still, but it's also a good drying up mat. And the other side's got these grooves, so you can put things on the surface and they dry and all the water falls in, means they can get air all the way around them. Very useful little thing. Shout out to Roger for recommending that. Balsamic vinegar, so a good glug of it.
I'm actually making a breakfast chimichurri, so that's why the balsamic vinegar, not red wine vinegar.
Olive oil, probably equal parts, so probably 2 tablespoons of each. Pepper, salt. Just give that a good mix, and you want to leave that for a little bit to the side to sort of all infuse and do its thing. It's looking good. Starting to bubble a bit on top. Okay. Clean up this bloody mess. Don't worry, I'm on the farm, so I'm allowed to throw stuff on the floor. The cows don't mind. Now we wait. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes since I put this on, and oh, it's looking good. It looks perfect, actually. The best bit about that is no washing up. I don't have to wash my wok. I don't have to wash the pan. I never wash the grill, I mean. So yeah, great. This garlic could do with a little bit more softening up. So I'm just going to put this on the edge of the grill, and I'll get these bits of bone marrow off, and I'll throw the steak on at the same time. I've already salted this steak. So I generously salted it before I pulled it out to rest it. Ooh, nearly dropped that. So you can see it's got a bit of colour on top, but texture-wise, I'll show you what you're looking for. This soft, kind of gelatinous, easy to spread. All right, put a bit more heat on the fire, and we're gonna smash this steak. So you notice I haven't put it on tons of heat just yet. That's fine, because, oh, I want to build this. Actually, yeah, we're going to do medium heat or lowish heat for a little bit. We want to reverse sear this because it's quite thick. So we're just going to kind of warm it up first, I guess, and then we'll chuck some heat into it. So the internal temperature is not too bad. It's already at 16 degrees. So the idea there is 16 Celsius, obviously, it's Australia. If it was still at like fridge temp at like 0 or 1, you'd have to reverse sear this for a lot longer, but I think I can get pretty close to just going straight to a sear. So I'm gonna throw some more wood on and we'll make this happen. So you notice I'm still got this on like quite low heat while I get this fire going, and it's getting a bit of smoke in it and stuff. All totally fine. It's not really cooking it, it's just kind of warming it. I've actually done a video on this, and of all the ways I've cooked steak, straight on the grill over the fire is the best. Forget cast iron, forget pans, forget anything. This is the best. It just makes the best steaks. And you hear people saying you can't use flame to cook a steak. It's just nonsense. Forgot to pepper it earlier. It's all right. Oh, and if you hear people say it burns the pepper, it doesn't. It just makes the pepper milder. Well, I mean, maybe it does burn it, but the effect of the burning it is not a bad flavour. So just as this steak's nearly done, I'm going to do this. And butter it with bone marrow. And that's not all I'm doing with the bone marrow, don't worry. All right, last flip. There's that sear. And there's that bone marrow. Whoa, no. Oh well. There'll be no shortage of bone marrow on this, I can assure you. Once the other side's got a nice sear, which it probably has, yep. I'm gonna take that off and let it rest. Now, time to do some toast and egg. So, with cast iron pans, with iron pans, and particularly with stainless steel pans, it's good to wait for them to heat up a little bit before you add oil, because the pores close a little bit in it, and then the oil creates this better non-stick surface. Egg. Oh, I broke the yolk a little bit there. The best way to cook toast at camp is on the fire. Oh, sorry, in the pan on the fire, not actually on the flame. This creates a nicer grill on it. Now cook your eggs however you like them. Have them poached, you can have them scrambled. I like a good sunny side up fried egg because I like to dip things in the yolk. Okay, flip them so those eggs can come off. Come on. Oh, got it. And the key to not burning your toast is to have a good amount of oil in the bottom. Let's go and plate up. By the way, these things, bare bones stainless steel scrubbers, are the best for cleaning cast iron and stuff. Just the best, because they're not too abrasive, but they're heat proof and just tough. All right. So, ridiculous. I love it. Toast with some bone marrow, goes butter, and hopefully this is roasted. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Bit of roasted garlic mixed in there. So the idea of slow cooking this garlic is that it goes really soft like this. And you can squish it, just squish it up with your hands or straight out of the peel or whatever. Bone marrow. Talk about the ultimate garlic bread. Oh my God. Eggs on the toast. Now, let's carve up some steak. Now, I obviously can't fit this entire steak on there, so I'm just going to have as much as I need, and the rest of it I will eat later. Oh, such a good bit of meat. Salt. Pepper. And the thing that I think is going to tie this all together is the chimichurri. There it is. My ultimate breakfast. Time for some B-roll. Very gratuitous B-roll. For science, don't worry. Got my little fold out steak knife. Okay, I want to bite with everything, so dunk that in there. Chimichurri, bit of steak, bit of egg. Oh my word. What? My brain can't even comprehend this. Okay, I want to just egg in. How? How is this so good? I almost wish I didn't know this existed. It's so good. It's the perfect balance of flavors. The chimichurri is essential. It's got the sweetness of the balsamic, the acidity of the balsamic, which really ties it together. As everything else is savory and umami and gutsy and creamy, and nothing feels too heavy. Just, the meat is so tender and so beefy and tasty, and I don't have the right words to describe this. The toast is essential. Like, it's just such a good thing to soak everything up and use good quality bread, and oh my word. This is the best thing I've ever cooked on this channel. I don't even care if it goes badly with beer. It won't, but I don't care. Oh, it goes so well with beer. It's 12:25. This is the perfect late breakfast, and it's so worth the effort. Fellas, if you want to treat yourself, make this. Ladies, if you want to treat yourself, make this. Vegans, I'm sorry you never get to experience this. I'm in a different place. Thank you so much for watching and letting me cook this. This is incredible. Oh. See you in the next one. Mm.